How is that?
That's definitely better.
Put on the.
Wait, I want to.
Put on the head. Put on the earphones. You want to do something?
Yeah. I want to show you how.
All right, turn it. Turn it. No, turn it. Yeah. Okay, that's works. That's fine. Okay, folks, if there's anybody out there watching my live stream, I am Steve Mazzarella. I'm here with a member of the Grandma Rosa Dream Team. This is the first time we are ever live streaming the full moon ritual. It is April 30th, 2018, and I will be doing the full moon ritual. I realize the camera's a little blurry, but some of that is intentional because we've got people's letters. I'm going to be doing, what I'm going to do tonight is the same thing I've done every full moon for about 13 years, myself or an assistant or several assistants. In the 13 years, there's only been one time where we missed the full moon. I was away, an assistant was away. I paid a woman to do it. I called her up a day or two later from where I was. I was in another country, and she forgot. That was about 7 years ago. The only time in 13 years we neglected to do the full moon. We've got a lot of we've got spell buyers from the last year, all spread out over here. I never tell you. But in fact, once you buy a spell from us, we don't always do the ritual for you. We only do it the first time, but we always include you in for a year. So these are all probably 300 or 400 buyers. We also have recent customers. Where is the recent customers? I print those out the day of the. I print out all buyers since the last full moon and print them out. And I include them in. These are buyers from previous times, previous full moons, but these are the buyers since the last full moon. I print out your name and include you in the ritual area, as I always say I do. In addition to that, I've got people who paid for personal spells this month, and we will be doing those. But we do a general spell for everybody, a general ritual for everybody who's bought within the last year, including the most recent month since the last full moon. That should really probably go right there, the closest. Now, I have the instructions. Every spell buyer gets these instructions, plus they're on the website. I always go through the instructions. You can hear me okay? Can you hear me okay? Good. Okay. I wear a headlamp because I usually have the lights all off except for the candle, and I can't read with the lights off, so I wear this headlamp. Today we got one light on because when we tried live streaming with no lights, just the candle and my headlamp, it wasn't coming across well. Okay, I've got my herbs. All right. The first thing I always do is I find my notes and read my notes to myself. Now, this is very personal. It's very personal. It's not part of the spell, but I like to personalize the ritual or remind myself of truisms that are important to me. I like doing it once a month under the full moon. It's part of the reason why I love doing the rituals, because I become a better person. My goal is to give power, take my life power to make other people more powerful and effective in their spiritual work. That is my goal in life, is to help other people be more powerful and more effective in their spiritual work with the combination of my products and my guidance. And the more I become effective in my spiritual work, the more I can communicate that to others. I always explain to people that they have God in them. They listen to the little voice inside of them. I wish for all of us to be connected with our divine source and to use our life force in a manner that is effective and guided by goodness, knowledge, and courage. I remind myself that all decisions should be based on goodness and all intentions. Goodness, knowledge, learn as much, be good. Start off with good intentions. Knowledge, learn as much as you can, and courage. Sometimes it takes guts to follow your little voice. Sometimes it takes guts to do the right thing. For all my customer friends, I wish for you as I wish for myself. What you want now or something better? I do for you as I do for myself. My realization is that I am ever improving my ability to provide spiritual contribution to others. Again, this is highly personal stuff for me that I always start off with before I do the ritual. I figured I'd include you in on this. I have a problem with dumping stress and yelling at people around me, so I remind myself not to do that. Try to focus on calmly solving problems. I try to keep in mind what is my highest and best good. As I get older, I try to remind myself, don't worry about your age, do what enthuses you. And I remind myself to feed on my past successes in life as I move forward into things that take courage for me. And I've got a list of past successes that I won't read off right now because it's kind of personal and it's also kind of not interesting, probably. My goal is to study other religions to get ideas on how I can take things from other religions and make what I offer to you more powerful. I'm reminding myself again of kind of past abilities to pick things up and reminding myself that I can improve this business always using the same talents that I've used to grow in other ways. How is the sound, Nico? And how is the picture? So? Okay. I remind myself that I reflect the people that I am around the most. So I should be very careful in selecting environments that I go to and people that I hang around with. And that's something we can all keep in mind. Sometimes I feel regret. I'll give you a perfect example. I've been renting an office for 20 years. I drive around Denver in that time period. The rent has gone up almost by 5 or 6 times. I drive around Denver. I just rented it because it's a small office and it's easy to rent. The rates in Denver have gone way, way up. The property values have gone way, way up. If I had only bought something instead of renting, it would have gone way, way up underneath me. I didn't. I have regret. What I say to myself is look back in life for the lessons, look forward in life for success. Again, I remind myself all decisions and all intentions, one should be guided by knowledge, goodness, and courage. When in doubt, ask yourself, if I do this today, will I feel good about this tomorrow? If the answer is yes, you will feel good, then do it. Choose expansion. Choose anything that helps you grow yourself. If the answer is no, I'm not sure I'll feel good about it or not, it's probably something that's morally bad or something iffy and you shouldn't do it maybe. Okay? Together, We are all learning, educating, empowering, and bolstering our spirit. That's the Grandma Rosa Company. To build us all up together. We're all getting stronger spirits together. All of these former spell buyers, all these former product buyers, all the people from the last month who purchased, who I promised I print out their names and put in the spell ritual area. We can all grow. We can shift our thinking. This is the realization of the ritual tonight also, and we'll get to that. Okay? We're all going to support each other and grow together. All right, now, the next thing I do, so that's the personal part that reminds me to be a better person running this spiritual products, business and services. The next thing is the steps of the ritual. They're on the website. You can follow, but I read them to myself. The philosophy behind the ritual. It's based on New Thought, Ernest Holmes, something like Unitarian Church, religious science. It's based on something called a spiritual mind treatment. First, we recognize that God is the divine creator of everything. This is the recognition step. From the clouds to a bird to animals to a plant, everything is God's work. Everything is of God. The next step is the unification step. We understand that we are personally unified with God and with everything else and with everyone else because we are all of God. So we're all connected. The Creator is always in its creation. We all have God in us. We are connected. We should remember that how we treat each other. We're all connected. We're all branches off the same trunk. The third step is the realization step. That is the step where we declare, and we say it as if it's done already. We declare the purpose of the ritual, and it's done, and so it is. That's the realization, and we make sure that the purpose is in harmony with God. The fourth is gratitude, where we thank God. We thank God for everything. And then the final step is the release. And that's when I take the herbs that I put in the ritual area here, and you'll see that in a minute. And I scoop them up, and I put them out in the yard. The camera won't follow me out there, but I put it out there and I release it. It's planting a seed in your mind and in my mind and in the universe. And as the farmer plants a seed in the garden, in the field, and then lets the universe do some work as well with the rain and the sun to help nourish and grow that seed, we too are planting seeds in our minds and in the universe with the goal of having our goal have us work on it, but also be open to the fact that the universe will present some opportunities and some possibilities for you to reach your goal or something better. Okay? Now the rules, and I'll abbreviate them, they're kind of long here. The rules, 3 rules of performing rituals. Trust your instincts. That's Grandma Rosa Company credo. If you feel like, if we say do a ritual once a day or do it under the full moon, and you feel like doing it twice in a day, or you feel like doing it before and after the full moon, you trust your instincts. Learning to trust your instincts in your spiritual work is the first step, is an exercise. It's a purposeful exercise that when I always encourage you to always follow your instincts in your spiritual work, that is a purposeful exercise that I've planted in the spiritual work with the intention of helping you develop the concept of following your instincts right along in life by practicing it with your spiritual work, but then extending beyond that to other aspects of your life. Grandma Rosa's spells and rituals are always intended to build you up and to build up the people around you. They're not to manipulate. They're not intended to hurt others, hold them down, anything of that. Nothing negative. Intended to build you up in harmony with God in a way that feels right. And you'll grow beyond the bad people that are holding you down. Don't get bogged down with doing anything with rituals intending to hurt others. It's all about growing you so you're stronger than any of those others that are bothering you. And then lastly, it's the idea that what we're working for or something better will come along. So often in life, and this happened to me over the weekend, you kind of wished for something, it didn't go that way, but in fact, in the end, it actually went better. It was a different path to my goal. Best time to do the ritual is at the time that you feel strongest and that you're not disturbed by others. Now that I'm scheduling these for 9 o'clock, it's a little bit, and I'm broadcasting them and live streaming them. It's a little bit of an imposition on me, to be honest with you, because I used to do them when I felt strongest. If at 9 o'clock I felt a little tired, I'd go to sleep for an hour or two. I'd wake up at 11:30 or midnight or 1 in the morning, and I feel refreshed and do them. But in order to live stream them, I've got to have a set time, of course. And part of that, frankly, is because it's important for me to be able to prove that I'm doing these. Under today's climate, I have to be able to, even though I've never missed one in 13 years, and the customers all know we're real and we're solid because they know that from years of ordering and getting the orders right away. They know that from years of getting good guidance on the phone. The truth of the matter is, if any outside authority was ever to wonder if we're real or not, the best thing to do is to live stream and make a video. And so that's what I'm doing now. But the compromise there is I may not be doing it at my strongest because I work all day. Sometimes, like I say, I would take a nap from, say, 8 or 9 at night until maybe midnight and then get up and do them. But just as a general, if you're going to do rituals, the best time is when you feel strong and when you're undisturbed by others. You hear the music in the background. I usually play Gregorian chants or I play New Age music, depending on my mood. You can play any music you want. The best place is a flat area, kind of an area reserved for ritual, and I like to do them here generally, and somewhere where you're not disturbed. All right. Now we're going to start doing the ritual. I like to relax a little, and I am quite relaxed, but a little keyed up by tonight. All right, I've got a bag of ritual tools. This is the same bag I've had for years. There's an angel I like to put, because I like to work with saints and angels. There's another angel, medallion. And then these are saints. Mother Cabrini and St. Martin are the ones that I selected. Mother Cabrini, in part because I'm of Italian descent, and Mother Cabrini was a saint who worked a lot in Colorado. St. Martin, because I have many African American customers, and St. Martin was an African. I think he was from the Caribbean, but he was the first black saint. So I like to work with those two saints. And then we've got a lot of stones that we put around. That's kind of the inner circle of this ritual area. I've got my favorite stones. The same stones I've been using for years to do rituals. Okay. There's things that I just talked about, some philosophical things that we think about. I'm going to be here all night with all these people that purchase spells, so some of this I'm going to just kind of I'm not going to repeat. All right, I carved blessings for all already into the candle, and I also carved God. Well, I didn't actually. I think I forgot to carve the word God. I like to carve the word God. Let me try doing it with the best I can with a going candle, because I like to put the word God in the ritual because I want it to be in harmony with God. So blessings for all is what we have. That's what we're going for tonight. We always go for things like blessings for all, positive energy for all, winnings for all, because everybody wants to win. So we always include some kind of good fortune winnings. And really, I always say a shift in thinking, a different way of looking at something. Because I believe that sometimes a little shift in the way you perceive something can be revolutionary in your life and in what you see and in what you attract. So I always really, really push that. I know for you that we can shift your thinking and help create more abundance in your life. All right. I have anointed and dressed the candle. I've also put the cross anointing of the oil on my head. I have some very old oil. I made it probably 12 years ago. I still got some in there, and I like to use the old oil just because. All right. Now, this step is for removing negative forces. What I normally do instead of working with a parchment paper, like the instructions, I normally think about the things that are holding me back, self-limiting beliefs. I think about things since the last full moon, where I had a kind of assumption, and then I decided to dispel that assumption and just go for it. And sometimes my assumption was right, and I kind of messed something up, or I overreached. Other times my assumption was wrong. I just had a revelation just like recently that my assumption was wrong about something. It has to do with this business too. Normally when someone's doing the ritual, we instruct them to write on the parchment paper negative people or negative things that they believe are holding them back, and then we ask them to burn the paper or rip it up. That part I don't personally do that. As I say, I think of self-limiting beliefs and assumptions that could be hindering my growth. I recognize them and I try to work on it. And then the next full moon, I look back. And one of my self-limiting beliefs, I'll tell you right now, honestly, is I like to create exciting advertising. And I had a belief that if I tone down the advertising and really listen to the lawyers that specialize in it, that it would kill a certain something in my customer's perception and energy level. And it kind of, I have to create an energy in people that are kind of depressed or kind of down in order for them to get inspired by things. And that's a lot of energy on my part. And I'm working on that self-limiting belief where I create that energy in a way that is acceptable and compliant and just follows the legal guidance. And that is something I'm working on all the time. I had a self-limiting belief that would kill something in the excitement of the customer. And that excitement is so important to actually feed the whole machine and feed the results. Because they're part of the key to spiritual practice is the expectation of good results. And I have to really I have to be careful how I create those expectations, because it's complicated, but I'm trying to, I'm really working at, following the guidance that I'm getting to create expectations that still create excitement, because it is that expectation and that excitement that actually creates the results in some ways. It's the ancient Hebrew for the word thing and the word thought was the same word, because you think things into reality. And I believe that. We all know that. We all know that. We had the concept of where we were going before we went there. And it's a tightrope to get people excited so they got that inertia to think things into reality, but stay compliant, honestly. So there's a balance there. I'm working on it. God knows I'm working on it. All right, so you light the candle. All right, we put the saints down. You can also put anything sacred that to you personally in the circle. All right, now we're going to talk about the goal and the purpose. The purpose of this ritual is to bless all the recent customers, all the former spell buyers and former customers, and then to do ritual, include in the ritual the recent spell buyers and their exact spells. And tonight I'm going to be at this for an hour and a half tonight, probably. This is a lot. There's a lot of ritual buyers recently. God, is this all this month? These people I did last month, you will. See, this is all this month. There's a tremendous number of ritual buyers this month. Okay. Now we get the herbs. All right. Now, what I want to say this right now is the realization, the purpose of this ritual for all these non-personalized ritual buyers. I know for all of us that we can shift our thinking. We can grow. We can develop ourselves. We will be blessed as we face our fears and just look at things just a little differently. And I gave a real life example with advertising. Look at things a little differently. And I know for all of us, I know that we can better our lives. I know for all of us we can attract blessings. We can attract good fortune. We can just adjust how we see something, adjust our attitude, or adjust our viewpoint on something, on life, or on certain things, or handle problem things that we're stuck in differently. It will free us to grow more and move more in our direction that we want to take our lives. I know that for all of us. And because everybody always wants a kind of good fortune. It's universal that all our customer friends want some kind of financial blessing or winning or recognition or something. I know that we can attract that kind of thing, what we're desiring. I know for us, or something better. This is a realization for all of us that is happening now. And it is in harmony with God. God will always support us in good, healthy growth. And the desire to better ourselves, for ourselves and for our family. I know that this is true for all of us. Or something better. Okay? And let me throw some herbs in here, and again, we will eventually release the herbs to the universe, and it's symbolic of releasing our realization to the universe. I know that for all of us, past ritual buyers, past customers, recent customers, and recent ritual buyers. All right. Now I'm going to do the individual ritual. At this point, whatever people ordered, I'm going to do something for each one of them. I'm going to kind of say it low because I really don't want you to hear that. I don't think I should live stream people's names, but I say their name, I say their town, and I say the ritual, their desires. And I'm going to do this for each person now. I've got somebody listening in on a headphones, and I need to know if you can hear this or not, because I don't want you to be able to hear it. Okay. Let me start with this group, because this group needs a special group. Plus, I just want to say one other thing. I've got a pile of people here that are hardship cases. They write in, or they call in, or they contact us via the internet, and they ask to be included in the ritual for free. I always include those free people. Always. And just knowing, when you're down, just knowing you're being included in on some kind of spiritual work. Just knowing your name or your letter or your email is printed out and is here. Just knowing that will give people a boost. I know because I had health problems, very terrible health problems for many, many years. And my parents, of all things, went to the Mother Cabrini shrine here, and they registered me. They put my name in a kind of perpetual mass. And when they did that, just knowing that they cared, and knowing that somebody was doing something spiritual actually gave me a lift. That's why I know this works, in that level. Okay, now we're doing the individual rituals. Okay, Catherine Wright, Charlotte, North Carolina. Can you hear this or not? You can hear my voice? No? I don't want people to hear these names. All right, I'll say it lower. Catherine Wright, Charlotte, North Carolina. William Thornton, Canton, Missouri. London, Fresh Start, Goodwood. Lindsay Woodard, Rockville, South Carolina. Legal, Raleigh, Wesley. Susie Cook. Money. Body. Casino. Protection. Jealousy. Health. Health with Kurt and Nancy. Daughter. Union. Love. Susie Cat. Dean McGinnis. You can't hear me now, right? You're not hearing names, are
Most of them are not here.
you? Dean McGinnis, Rockville, South Carolina. Publishers Canada. Wings. Love. Good fortune. Antonio Villas-Flores. Azusa, Texas. David stopped drinking. Good health. Money in the drinks, protection, to change his life. Shift his. Here's someone that needs to shift their thinking. Shift your thinking. Can it be a Gloria? One love. See what is she doing? Let him make it. Health, love, power, SSI, jinx you, protection. Her son, Don Gloria, Daniel, Vincent Gloria. Financial security. I didn't need a Gloria. Our Irwin. Money, luck, lottery. Our Irwin. Francisco Lopez. Lottery, wins, luck. Good marriage. Francisco Lopez. Amy Armstrong. Luck, lottery, good health. Amy Armstrong. Kelly Shelton. Little Rock, Arkansas. Money, remove jinx, protection from bad. Your house. Kelly Shelton. Lorenzo Winstead. LA. Love, money, removing negative energy, shift thinking. Where's Jackson? Memphis, Tennessee. Money, luck, lottery, punishes bills, loneliness, strengthen relationship, raises healthy self, good health condition, financial success, meetings, love. Where's Jackson? Gloria Seaway, California. Money, lottery, good health, Serena, good health, lottery, winning. Okay, that's this newest group. Then I've got several other groups. But my sister, one member of my dream team is interrupting me. Yes,
Stop.
this live streaming stopped?
Oh wait, no, it's fine.
Okay. All right. Georgiana Eastman, Aberdeen, South Dakota. Lucky all parts of your life. Figure it safely later. Georgiana Eastman. Okay. Jake's Winner, Kansas City. Casino. Looking all parts of your life. Jake's Winner. Wilfred James by Rockaway, New York. Wilfred James. Consuelo Puente, San Antonio. Blessings, luck, winning, luck. Larry Glindsey, Cleveland, Mississippi. Okay. That's luck. That is very nice. Larry Glindsey. Virgil Williams. Edward Hernandez. Edward Hernandez. Money Wrestling, luck, the new generation of curse. 2018 was a great year. Edward Hernandez. Malcolm Baylor, Houston, Texas. Publishers Clearinghouse. Henry Carr. New home, good luck. Malcolm Baylor. Linda Barnett, Swansea, South Carolina. Casino, luck, winnings. Charles Sinnott, Publishers Clearinghouse. Charles Sinnott, Milwaukee. Jesse Thomas. Jesse Thomas, Grady, Alabama. Luck, winnings, good energy. Robert Petty, Boston, Georgia. Publishers Clearinghouse. Healthy Sex Life. New Generational Curse. About negative people. Roger Petty. Donald Rice, Brookhaven, Mass. Luck, money, James Noble, love, good health, Donald Rice. Linda White, Jackson, Mississippi. Whew. Money, luck, winning, love, healthy sex, health, back. Linda White, Jackson, Mississippi. Salvatore Vasconcelos, Orlando. Money, Publishers Clearinghouse, healthy sex, good health, good health, good health. Jinx, curse, lower back pain. Blessings and prayers, Salvatore. SK, Kapau, Hawaii. SK. Many blessings. Publishers Planning House. Mother Yamuna Cave. Money Miracle. Good Health. SK. Rachel Johnson. Money. Luck. Lottery. Money. Rachel Johnson. Martha Smith. Washington. Money. Luck. Love. Irresistible. Healthy sex. Good health. Good health. Money. Protection from bad. Stop jealousy. Martha Smith, Washington, D.C. Okay. There are a lot of spell buyers this month. A lot. More than ever. I did a mailing with them, offering the service. Please Crawford. No, James Patrick. Fresh Start. Lottery Love. Money Blessing. James Patrick. Please Crawford. All kinds of blessings. Love blessings. Good man. Health. Enriching life. Please Crawford. Josette Hill. I'm about 30% or 40% through the personal spells at this point. Lottery Roll Part 2. Luck. Good blessings. Maria Buddha. Luck. Blessings. Fresh Start. Maria Buddha. Milton California. Lottery and luck in all parts of your life. Casino. Good health. Ferdinand Santiago Barcelona, Puerto Rico. Carmencita Sachigana, Clearwater. Stop negative people. Wow. Coworkers. Carmencita Sachigana, Clearwater. Raquel Valderas, San Juan, Texas. Lottery and luck in all parts of your life. Raquel Valderas. Daniel Schiavone. Lottery, Publishers Clearinghouse, luck. Daniel Schiavone. And, Buffalo, New York. I've waited Laria Thompsoner, Publishers Clearinghouse, luck in all parts of your life. I've literally customer. Mary Lightel, money, links. Mary Lightel. Bara Wynn. Blessings. Bara. Marine.
Fast Luck, Broadway, Publishing Clearinghouse, Good Health, Mary England. Johanna Mueller, Oakland Park, Florida, Lottery. Shifting. Health. Money. Johanna Mueller. Anita Walker. Anita Walker. Fast Luck. Money. Health. Blessing. Lottery. Women's. Anita Walker. Anyway, good luck. Find yourself Carolina. Stephen McAllister. Lottery. Power. Stephen McAllister. Lisa Holland. Madison Holmes. Love. Luck. Lisa Holland. Bobby Wilson. Lakewood, Washington. Luck. Special for Bobby Wilson. Wins. Success. Healing desires. Bobby Wilson, Lakewood, Washington. Barbara Archer. Greenville, South Carolina. Lynn Jinx. Barbara Archer. This was Faith. Mary Neal. Williams. Luck. Mary Neal. Publishers Clearinghouse. Love. Sexy. Publishers Clearinghouse. Lucky Life.
We're about 60% of the way through the personal rituals. I'm doing something for each person. I'm doing exactly what they've asked for each person.
Paramedics. Miami, Florida.
I'm not speaking very loudly here because I don't think it's wise to live stream people's names. I say their name, I say their town, and then I release herbs into the ritual area for each one of their spells that they've requested, rituals, and I say the ritual. Then later we're going to do something with the herbs.
Juanita Martinez, McAllen, Texas. Money. Casino. Debt. Abigail Martinez, Wisconsin. Love. Abigail Martinez. Donald Harrison, Freeport. Lottery and Luck.
Stretch my legs a little.
Martin Moonlight, Bronx, New York. generational. Going home in Bronx. Money, lottery, Jason. Going home. Shotgun Racing, Burbank, California. Money, lottery, enough money, luck, good fortune. Shot Thomas at Burbank. Oh, Amari, Minnesota. Money, health, generational, power, luck. Oh, Amari. Very Minnesota. Lucy and Normal. Alex, lottery. Lucy and Normal. Thelma Thomas, California. Okay. John, lottery, health for her husband. Jinx Fury, Fresh Start, Stop Jealousy, Power, Personal. Just a lot of blessings for Thelma Thomas. In Adelina, California. Marvin Townsend, Marvin, Texas. Casino, a new generation of protection, love. Marvin Thomas, Garland, Texas. Sarah McCullum, Georgia, Mississippi. Money, love, blessings, happiness, health. Justine Gamboa, Los Angeles. Casino, health, healthful yoga, SSA. No. Justine Gamboa, health. Marlene Green, Cheyenne, Ohio. Delicious crabs, winning, love, money, shifting. Bill McCloud, Pueblo, Washington. Money, 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 get more money, earnings, luck. Anthony Wall, Cindy Beck, Detroit Club, Detroit Money, Sister Becky Health, Franklin Back, Court Case, Health, Reputation, Wendell Cousin, Marcel, Kentucky, Luck, Betty Griffin, Chicago, Illinois, Luck, Jason Wendell. Wallace, Springfield, Georgia. He can play the piano. Other talents, developed a musical ability. This is a woman from Georgia. This is one of the more interesting ones, more different ones of the night. She purchased one ritual, and she didn't check any of the normal rituals. She just said, I would like to learn to play the piano. And we certainly, in a spiritual sense, if you're out there watching, you know who you are. We certainly spiritually want to support and encourage you and all our customer friends to use their life force, follow their instincts, and pursue things that interest them, because good things will develop from those pursuits. Confidence, showing yourself and your children and grandchildren that you find a wholesome endeavor, a growth-oriented endeavor, and you pursue it with courage. So, to the woman in Georgia, I'm not going to say your name on live stream, but we totally support you in this endeavor. All right, I'm about 75% of the way done on the personal spells. Just give me another 5 minutes or so. I don't care if it's the first person that we do or the last person. I have to devote the same amount of emotional energy to each one. That's only fair, because each one is paying. Lottery, luck, money, playing blocks, good health, Ilar Spears, Raymond Boulevard, Carson, California. Money, luck, publishing films, girlfriend, good fortune, coping with loss, assist life, loving and stability, empty sex life, tracking the love, good fortune. Raymond Boulevard, Carson, California. Yes. Yes. Good health to you. Curses later to start fresh. Renew us George Vieira. Good health for Logan. George Vieira. Good health for himself. Joseph Gonzalez, Elizabeth, California. Good health for life. Lloyd Mann in Philadelphia. Good health. Lottery. Good lots. Gary Lincoln, Jefferson, Texas. changing life, something that excites them. Sandra School Grade, Farmington, Ohio. For the attraction, flag, copy JavaScript. Gene Edwards, Bellingham, New Mexico. Love, attracting and love. Positive with people. Gene Edwards. John Robinson, Jersey City. Love attraction. Finding a new love. The SEMA Mohican, Keystone, Kentucky. Love, trust, faith, financial, love. Money, luck, illuminating, protection, health, power, love, strength, personal power. Keep growing oneself. That's SEMA Mohican. Lottery, sex, Clarence Johnson, love, Union Kula, Seattle, health, that's the love of protection, stop negative power, spiritual growth, good choices. Okay, I'm on the last group of personal spell buyers since the last full moon. Actually, these are non-buyers. These are freebies that are supposed to be in the spell area, which I did include them in the ritual area, but they're not buyers, so there are not specific rituals. I've done all the personal rituals. Okay, now the next thing, we go back to my instructions. We're just about finishing up now. The next step is the gratification. Dear God, we're always grateful for our lives, for our connection together, for our free will, for the fact that we can shift our thinking. We are shifting our thinking and seeing things a little differently, which will lead us to more success, get us on a lucky roll, positive lucky energy. And we're just grateful, God, for our life, for our country, and for our free will, and for each other, that we have each other. We should always count our blessings whenever we're feeling a little negative or depressed. Because lucky people, studies have shown that when something is kind of a setback, we tend to look at it and go, well, it could have been worse. So thank you, God, on behalf of all our great customer friends and associates. Thank you. Now at this point, we're about at the end. What I do is I take the herbs now,
I go outside under the full moon and I release the herbs that we've sprinkled for each person. And this is called the release. In the same manner that what we've done is we've planted a seed in our minds, in the minds of all the spell buyers, in the minds of all the product buyers who I told I would print their name and include them in the ritual area. We planted a seed of blessing, of support, of positive energy, an expectation of some kind of good changes. And just something wholesome and good done, in having them included. We planted that seed, and as a farmer plants a seed, and then to a certain extent, lets the universe come along and rain and sun and nurture and grow that seed. We have planted a seed in our minds, and now we want to nurture. Now we hope that the universe will kind of, our awareness is open, and we see things that sort of are lessons or opportunities that we might have missed before. So we're going to release to the universe. Symbolically, I would release the herbs, but the whole idea is to release kind of the worry, sort of have a little bit of a lucky, excited buzz that what we just intended to have happen, or something better will happen, and you'll spot opportunities and possibilities that you may not have before. I don't quite blow the candle out yet, but I will step outside under the full moon now. Keep in mind, I've done this 13 years, so I'm kind of well practiced at it. This is the first time I've ever live streamed it. All right, I have a member of the dream team here outside the camera range. Keep an eye on the flame, please. I'll be right back. I have now released. We're at the end of the ritual. It's a beautiful full moon tonight, April 30th, 2018. The full moon is in the horizon. It's beautiful with some clouds around it, but it's clearly strong and visible. I will now blow out the candle, and that signifies the end of this ritual. I'm going to turn off the live streaming now because we've come to an end. And I thank you, and I wish everybody great blessings. You can call me anytime, and we will go over details if you want. You can always purchase spell kits and do this yourself, or you can purchase more rituals for next month, May 30th, full moon. Thank you.